Okay, good morning, guys. Listen, I have decided to take you guys on a journey that we've decided to take. And that journey is the journey of switching from plastic to glass for food storage. Okay? Now, why are we doing that? Because from time to time, we'll transport food, hot food, or what have you, and we'll inadvertently put hot food into plastic. Okay, and a lot of this plastic that we have, it's not expensive plastic. It's not. I don't know if you can call any plastic expensive. It's just plastic, but it transfers. And you get all types of chemicals from the plastic in your food. So, you used to be able to trust products, but I think now, since companies are doing things more for profit than they are for thinking about public safety, your plastic now is probably more dangerous than it was a long time ago. Okay, when we would think that it wouldn't be as dangerous, but now it's probably more dangerous because they're making a decision to make things cheaper. Okay, so that's why we've made the decision. Now, the decision of switching from plastic to glass is a personal one for you and your family, because I'm sure a lot of us, we use plastic food containers, we microwave them, we put hot food directly into them, we put hot liquids, and we store them in really warm temperatures with food. So it's not healthy. It's not healthy. It's not immediately going to cause you to be ill tomorrow, but over the years using these things, it's going to contribute to things like cancer, because these are chemicals that you are not supposed to ingest. And the food, your food is certainly not supposed to be flavored with plastic and the chemicals that plastic is made from. So today, like I said, I'm going to take you guys on our journey that we've decided, and I'm going to show you how much plastic, and it's probably less than a lot of you have, but it's a lot for us, just my wife and I. And so we've decided we're going to change this, and we start today changing, switching over all of our plastic food storage containers to glass. And look at it, it's not really that expensive. I think I just ordered glass containers, and I think we have maybe about 15 glass containers, various sizes. It was only like $30 on Amazon. So, you're not talking about a lot. Now, of course, glass, you gotta be more careful with. It's gonna break. You're gonna drop it. You're gonna break it. So my recommendation is to don't purchase cheap stuff where the lids are going to break or you're going to lose. But you don't have to go overly expensive if you decide to switch to glass, because you have to account for that. Okay, if I have 15 pieces of glass, that it's going to chip, it's going to break, so I don't want to have spent $150 for it. So if I can spend $30 and then over a year, I break a couple of pieces, I have to replace those pieces. And even if I have to spend another $30, it's still, you're spending about $30 a year to replace your glass food containers. So, let's look at food containers that are not really expensive, but you don't want to buy really, really cheap things either, because the covers and all that, it may not be worth it, and they may not last, even if you paid $30 for it. It may not be worth it. Okay, so, but in a minute here, I'm going to show you guys. First of all, I'm going to show you, everything is in plastic. Everything everything. I'll go into our refrigerator and I'll show you that. You pretty much know it, but I'm going to show you. If you look in the fridge now, look at this: the milk, the water, your juices. I buy cranberry juice. I've got butter, plastic. You've got everything. We've got our food containers, plastic. I buy I've started to switch to different types of mayonnaise and stuff. But if you look at this, just the gist of it, everything is in plastic. Look at that. Everything. I've got a couple of items in there that are not plastic, but it's all plastic. Okay? Everything. So they make it difficult for you to change to not use plastic. But I'm gonna make it, it looks like, it's simple to make that switch. It looks like for us, because it's the two of us. So we've got to make this switch for two different families. My wife's family, her sisters, they, same thing. So when we make the switch, we're going to make that switch for them also. And again, you have to consider, though, that glass you have to make sure, and I'll show you what glass contains. Now, we're using these glass containers, and I've just basically ordered more of these larger containers, and so we'll have an assortment of these larger containers. And as you can see, these lids, you can look at. The lids these are pretty sturdy lids, and these were not expensive. This is what my wife uses for her lunch when she goes to work. These are good, and they've lasted for a pretty good amount of time. So it's not going to be that difficult for us to make that switch. So it may be a little more difficult for you guys, but it's worth the switch. It's worth it to do it. Because I'll go to the pantry, and I hadn't gone to the pantry, but I'm going to show you our pantry. And this is our pantry. If you look at the pantry, okay, now look at everything. Plastic, everything plastic. Look at this. Plastic water. We do everything, all of that crap, everything is in plastic. So they have made, it would be so difficult. I even went to ordering these, which are, food, which I would give when I give different food to family members. I'll use these paper containers, but plastic bags, plastic everything. So everything we're getting. And there was a study done that we have plastic that's transferring from our containers that we use. If we use plastic utensils, the plastic is transferring to our bodies, and that's a fact. And they've done studies, and they're finding plastic on our brain. So we've got plastic, and I don't remember the number, the ratio, but they're saying, we've got plastic that's on our brain. So when you think about Alzheimer's and all these different diseases that is afflicting us, some of it has to do with plastic. You have some problems plastic chemicals and the chemicals that plastic is made from end up in your body and end up interfering with your cells. And the chemicals. So chemicals alter your body's natural function, period. And we've known that for a long time. Scientists have known it. We've known it. Just as a layperson, you know plastic is not. And here's how you know that. Here's how I understand that of course you know that plastic is dangerous. You will not eat plastic. You won't eat it. And why won't you eat it? Because you know that it's not to be ingested. Okay, so we understand that plastic is not something that's healthy to our bodies. Now, we have some, and you also have to watch out for some medication like vitamins and stuff like that, because they'll manufacture these things with plastic particles. So we have to really look at all of that stuff. Make sure that your vitamins or the things that you're ingesting directly are not manufactured with plastic. But I'm going to show you how much plastic we have to replace, okay? Because all this stuff we use, and we use it on a regular basis. So we're going to replace all of this plastic with a few pieces, okay? Which can be washed, reused, and so it's not a matter that it's not going to be enough, because we'll have enough to replace all of this. But I'm going to show you how much we're replacing. Okay. So if you look at that mountain of plastic that we have, we use plastic cups. We use all of these plastic all of this plastic food storage containers, and we use all of these. We use all of these, and as you see, we spent quite a bit of money over the years to accumulate this stuff. But this is the mountain of plastic that we are going to replace, okay, with a few pieces of glass that will be a lot safer. When I cook spaghetti, like you have pasta sauce, red sauce that's acidic, or anything that's acidic, we store, we'll do our oranges and fruits, and we'll store it in the plastic, and we'll put it in the refrigerator. Our containers that we use to store the acidic, either pasta sauce or whatever else acidic foods we use, it'll leach. And you'll find that these containers, and you see it over the years, these containers will start to discolor, okay? They'll start to take on the color of especially pasta sauce. They're red. So we would toss them once we see that it's leached, but it's gone back and forth. The acid has leached into the plastic, and certainly that plastic has leached and the chemicals into that food. And even if you don't see it, it's still microscopically leached into your food. So if you transfer food from containers, from your pots where you're cooking, and you transfer that food hot into these containers, you're leaching the chemicals from these containers into your food immediately, okay? And we do it. I did it. We all did it. We do it. We'll take the food, we'll transfer it from the pot to the plastic, okay? If you take these containers and you decide to stick in the microwave, okay? Stick them in the microwave. Then you are leaching the plastic from, or the microwave is assisting and melting this plastic into your food, okay? Quite a while ago, we switched from poles to bamboo, and the wooden stuff. Okay, we started using the wood, and I love it. I love it, because what we were noticing is the utensils would wilt. I'm like, you put these plastic spoons into a hot, boiling hot pot of water, pasta, the water where you're doing pasta, or you're cooking, and they get soft. That's crazy. You're cooking plastic. I mean, you're cooking, and even if they don't, you still, the heat is transferring the chemicals from that utensil into your food. So you're eating it, you're feeding it to your family, you're feeding it to, I mean, I'm older now, I'm 62, so now, hey, I may be, whatever damage was going to be done, it's probably done. But, it's never too late to change. So we're doing it now. But imagine for young people, when you start today and you've got a 2-year-old and you're microwaving them dishes in the microwave and giving it to them, you're transferring hot food from a pot into a plastic container. You're using plastic utensils to cook food that you're serving to your children or your babies. You've got these water bottles that are plastic. I know when I was growing up, we had plastic water bottles, plastic baby bottles. So we had hot milk, and we would stick these things in hot water to heat them. So we were using plastic, and we were transferring that plastic to our babies, and we wonder why our children have issues. So that's a lot of it. So this may seem like a small thing. It may seem like a thing that's not really immediate or urgent to do, but it's never too late to make a change for the better. So, my recommendation is to make the change. We'll figure out how to use plastic containers. If we don't just transfer, give them to Goodwill, or just toss them in the recycling bin. But we'll find other uses for this stuff. Putting non-edible stuff in all of this and use it that way. But we are going to definitely switch from plastic for our consumables. And I guess it's okay, because you see we have cereal containers. I guess it's okay to use those plastic cereal containers I'm going to do some more research on that. To have the cold cereal, if you eat cold cereal in it, just, you can leave it in that, because I know that's goes to organizing for a lot of us. So I guess it's okay, but I'm going to do some research on it, and I suggest you do some research on it also. So I guess that's okay, but for definitely transporting and using and microwaving hot items, hot consumables, do not use plastic, because this plastic is, I think, even more dangerous today than it would have been 10, 15, 20 years ago, because I think the way that companies are operating now is more on a profit margin, or more on a profit focus than public safety focus, whereas we used to have companies that would operate, basically, they wanted quality. When they made things, they wanted them to be quality. And a lot of what our plastics that we get now, they're made in China. So, if we're making products and items in China, the Chinese are certainly not concerned about our health, and the companies look the other way. And when they know that this stuff is harmful to us, so that's why I would say, even today, I think the products are even more dangerous when you're talking about plastic for your food storage. Okay, so I hope this helps, guys. I hope you like these videos. If you would like and subscribe to videos, if you like our content, I'm trying to bring you things that will help. Okay, give you some information that maybe you can use. So I will see you guys on the next video, and good luck with changing from plastic to glass. All right, thanks guys. See you next time.